Okay, hi everyone. In the last session, we have introduction to PEGA PRPC. Once again, I'll review within 2 minutes. So, first of all, PEGA PRPC BPM is a application development tool. So, in this application development, for application development here, we are not going to write any coding. Okay, so totally the total design of drag and drop and point and click. So, all the options will be available. So, entire design will be drag and drop and point and click will be there. So it's totally like a means like automation. Everything will be automated here. Okay. So what are the work we do will be automated, and mostly reusability will be applicable in the application development. And first of all, PEGA is a product of PEGA systems, and it is not an open source tool. Okay. So means the companies which have license can use the PEGA for application development. Okay. And what is the actually I'm comparing this PEGA with Java programming, because what are the things we can do in Java, same thing we can do in PEGA also, but the difference is in Java it is a programming language and PEGA is a tool. Okay, so the process will be different. Okay, here without any coding we can design applications in PEGA, but in Java there will be a lot of coding will be there. That is the only difference. But what are the things we can do in Java, same thing we can do in PEGA also, but the working procedure will be different. And PEGA is also called as a Java-based application, because in the early stages, even PEGA application is also designed using Java only. So it is called as a Java-based application. But in order to learn PEGA, no need to have any prerequisites case. Okay. So without any knowledge, without any prerequisites, anyone can learn this tool. And PEGA is also called as a PRPC, right? The full form is PEGA Rules Process Commander. So that is nothing but a platform. Okay, so they'll give some platform tools in order to design and deploy the applications. We can also call it as PEGA Designer Studio or Developer Portal. And finally, there is a term called BPM. Actually, PEGA comes under a BPM category. So what are the applications we develop? The methodology used for developing these applications is BPM method. Means the process is BPM methodology process we'll use. That is internal part of the application only. Okay, no need to have any knowledge on that. Just PEGA applications we used to call it as BPM applications. Okay, PEGA applications are also called as BPM applications. And PEGA contains, I told you, PEGA contains two editions. One is personal edition and other one is enterprise edition. Personal edition means we can design, means the version or the edition which we can install in our own systems like laptops or anything, and we can practice. It is also full version only. It's not like a trial version. It will be there for lifetime. Okay, suppose any system crash happens also, again you can reinstall. It will be like a lifetime version. It will not expire after few days. Okay, so here also you can develop full, like a full project you can develop. So but only thing is, in the personal edition, by default, they'll give one database and one default database and one default server. So the default database we'll be getting with the personal edition is PostGRE SQL database, and server is Tomcat is the server, and it is the internet server. No need to connect to any external systems case. Okay. So when you install this personal edition, no need to connect to any external server. Directly we can start internet server and we can log into the application. And in the real time, in the companies when you work, you will be using enterprise edition. Okay, when you work in the real time, you will be using enterprise edition. So there, what are the client requirement, what are the project requirement you get, based on that you can choose any database and any server. Okay, that access will be directly getting from the PEGA system's external server. Okay, so in the enterprise edition you can get access to the any database or any server based on the project requirement. So there is a choice, means there what are the project you are working. So for your project, which database required and which server is required, you will get that access from the PEGA system sectional server. Okay. But in the personal edition, they are giving the default access to one default database and default server. That is the only difference. When you open the application, the options will be same in any edition. Okay. And in order to log into the application, so first thing is we need to start the server. Yesterday I told you, you will get once today maybe I'll cover the installation at the end of the session. So here you will get three icons created after the installation setup is done. One is called as login icon, shutdown icon, and startup icon. So first we need to click on the startup to start the server. It's already open. These two command prompts will open. Yesterday I showed the process for you. So these two command prompts will open and it will load all the things in the, so in the runtime, it will load all the things. And now after the server is started, minimize these two command prompts. Then click on this login icon. Click on the login icon. And it will open this application in a browser. And we need to enter the credentials, that is user ID and password we have to enter. So the default ID and password is administrator@pega.com. And the password is INSTEWL is the password. So log into the application. So once you log into the application, so now you can see is PRPC. We can also call it as PEGA Designer Studio or platform or developer portal. And I told you PEGA applications contains three portals. Okay, so when you work on any project, PEGA applications contains three portals. It can be any domain. Okay, so wherever you work in any company, so this PEGA application contains either whether it is personal edition or enterprise edition. It contains three portals. Admin, we can call it as right now. What are the design we do, right? So this entire thing, it is called as developer portal, or we can also call as admin. Actually, in the previous versions, there is a separate admin portal. Now, either admin portal or developer portal is common in from 7 version. From 7 version, admin or developer portal is common. And so in this, all the design will take place. Okay, so designing and deployment, everything we do in this admin or developer. And apart from that, we have manager portal and user portal. So regarding that other portals in the coming sessions, you'll get in detail. So because actually the design, actual design, everything will take place in the admin portal only. Okay, and after that, what are the things I will provide as part of the setup and all I told you yesterday. So it means you'll get all the required things, recordings, you'll get software. Okay, so notes on every topic. So certification materials, resume preparation, projects for the resume. So entry questions, all these things you'll get from my side. So now in today's session, we are going to discuss on about PEGA Designer Studio. We are going to discuss. So we are going to see what are the things under the PEGA Designer Studio. We'll see. So already we log into the. So anyone can log into the application after the setup is done. The default ID will be administrator@pega.com and password is INSTEWL, and you will get this home page. And this PEGA Designer Studio is integrated with all the features. Okay, so whatever required for application development, everything is integrated inside the application only. Even database is also part of the Designer Studio only. Means even database also no need to manually connect. Automatically when you start the server, database is also connected. So like that everything, once you install this PEGA, only you will be using this tool only. Apart from that, there is no need to install any other setups or any other softwares. Okay. everything is integrated inside the application itself. So now first of all, this PEGA Designer Studio, it is categorized into 4 panels. Okay, so this entire thing, whatever you are seeing right now, this entire thing we used to call it as PEGA Designer Studio, and it is categorized into 4 parts. Okay, so entire PEGA Designer Studio divided into 4 panels. We'll divide into one is header, explorer, work area panel, and finally toolbar panel, or we can also call it as footer panel. So these 4 panels it is categorized entire PEGA Designer Studio. So first of all we'll see some options, means directly I cannot show all the options right now. So first I'll show you what are the things we'll have in each and every panel, and from tomorrow's session based on the scenario we do, so step by step, one by one, we'll be using all the options from these different panels. Okay. So just overview of all these panels we'll see. Okay. So first of all, coming to the header option, this is the header, and this is the Explorer panel. This is work area panel, and this is the footer panel. Some toolbars will be added in the footer option. These are the different panels we have. So maximum we'll be using all these options except one or two things. So in this Designer Studio, we'll be using all the options. Okay. And coming to the header option, so mostly all the menu bars will be there. Okay, in the header they have added all the different menu bars. Each menu bar will have a different types of, again, different set of options will be there under each menu bar. The starting one is actually the entire thing name is PEGA Designer Studio, and the menu name is also Designer Studio. No need to confuse. This is one menu bar, and under the menu bar, so many menu options will be there. If you click on that, so it will show you different menu options, and again under each and every menu, you'll be having some different, some tools will be there. So many widget options will be there. So some things, so we'll not mostly default settings will be there. So from this, mostly we'll be using some application menu. We'll be using. This data model is deprecated. We are not using in 7 version. User interface also just settings and gallery will be there. Practically we will not use. So mainly we will be using application, integration, and some one or two things under the system will be using. Okay. So remaining things mostly are settings, default settings in the application in this tool. So most of the options are default settings. So mostly we will not change them. So as it is, we'll be using. Okay. So and internally from this application menu, if you go, some internal options, development option, distribution options will be there. Some tools will be there. So those things whenever required, I'll be showing those options. So most of the things will be mostly using this integration part. Integration. So all the widgets are part of this Designer Studio menu. So we have connector widgets, service widgets, email widgets. All those things are inbuilt in this Designer Studio menu. So whenever required, whenever we get the scenario, we'll be using these options in the application development as part of the design. So some cases we'll be using this Designer Studio menu. Okay. So in the coming sessions, we'll be using all these options guys. And next to this menu, there is a something called application menu. Actually, this application menu, as a developer, will not use. Actually, in the same environment only, business analyst also will be working. Okay, not only developers. What are the portal we have? Actually, I'm calling it as a admin or developer portal. So in the same portal, business analyst also will be using. Okay, some components will be used by the business analyst also. So whoever, either admin, actually in PEGA, there will not be any separate admin people will not be there in PEGA. So who is the developers, they will only do the admin part also. Actually most of the admin part is automatically generated. 80% is automatically generated and 20% will be done by the developers. Okay. So there will not be separate admin team will not be there. So we developers only will involve in the admin part also, and sometimes business analyst will involve in the admin portion. Only 20% only we'll do manually. So remaining 80% is automatically generated. So that one I'll show in the next session. You'll get that one. I'll tell you that one. Okay. And in the same portal only, business analyst role also will be there. Okay. So first of all, PEGA, whenever whoever is working on PEGA, so many roles will be there. Actually, as a developer, as we are developers, so whenever you get into the job, your role will be developer role. Okay. So in developers in PEGA can be called as system architects or senior system architects. Okay. So your role will be system architect, senior system architect, and if we have more experience, like more than 10 years experience on PEGA, we can be you can become a lead system architect. Okay. So like that in the developer role only you can further you can based on your experience and all you can grow. Okay, you can become a team lead, like lead system architect you can become. So if you below 3 to 4 years experience you can call a system architect. So more than 4 years experience you can become a senior system architect. So like that the developer roles will be there. And apart from the developer there will be some other things like business analyst will be there. Okay, so this one, so quality team will be there, testing team will be there. So like the different roles will be there in the PEGA application development. And here, so right now, what are the portal we have? So it will be used by the developers and business analysts, and sometimes lead architects also will be working on the same portal. And coming to the next menu, so what are the menu I'm discussing is application menu. Actually, this application menu, and this is a role of business analyst in the real time. Okay, so under the application menu, the purpose of this application menu is, see, when we log into the application using the default ID, in this default ID we cannot directly start the project, we cannot start. Okay. So first if you want to create anything in this ID, so I means if you want to start a new project means in the personal edition or any enterprise edition, so the first step we need to do is creating a new application setup. Okay. Actually this is only a default ID. The default ID, it will not support to create new rules, we cannot add. Means the new design we cannot start directly in the default ID. So what we need to do is we need to create a new application setup. In the real time, this application setup, everything configuration will be done by the business analyst. But in the personal edition, I'll show by we'll be doing by ourselves only, because without this application setup, we cannot start a new project. So from this application menu again, there are some internal tools are there. So from the new application option, we can create a new application and it will generate some new user IDs, and in that we can start our project. What are the project we are going to create? In the once after creating this application setup, so we can start the project, because in the default ID we cannot, it will not support, it will not allow you to create a new setup directly. So if you want to create a new setup from the application menu, so using this option internally, again some tools are there. In tomorrow's session you will get. Okay. So internally for application setup also PEGA has given some internal tools they have given. Okay. So we used to call as DCO tool, and inside that application express. So some internal tools are there. In tomorrow's session I'll cover that topic. So this is mostly used by the business analyst in the real time, but in this application setup process also you must compulsory, you must have some idea. Maybe sometimes you will also, some senior developers also can create this setup. So you must compulsory have some idea on this. So in tomorrow's session, this is the starting thing. So we are going to create this application setup. Then inside that, we are going to start the design from scratch. Okay. So internally about this thing. So this is nothing but application menu. And what is the name PEGA rules is? PEGA rules is nothing but the name of the default application. Actually in the default ID, they have given two applications. One is PEGA rules application name is PEGA rules. Okay. So what are the application you create later in tomorrow's session? That application name will reflect here. For example, if you have given application name as Bank of America, so that name will reflect in place of PEGA rules. Okay, you have given the application name as like Bank of America, then that application name will show here. Okay, so here PEGA rules is a sample application. Actually here So they have given access to two applications here. Actually, these are not full applications, guys. Just a sample applications. Nothing will be there. It will not work also. Just in the default ID, just they have given some sample application. So they have given access to two applications here. One is PEGA rules right now. We are under the application PEGA rules. And if you want to see, generally most of the time in the real time also, you will not work on maximum cases. You will not work on. You will be working at a time. You will be working under single application only. Okay. So here they have given so there is a scope. Sometimes you can also work on two applications also. So if they have given access to you, so at the same time you can also work on two applications at the same time. Okay. So that is also possible in Pega. So here in the default ID, they have given access to two applications. So right now it is in Pega rules. If you want to switch to other application, just click on this DM sample. The other application name is DM sample. So now you can see the application name in the application menu as DM sample. Again, if you want to switch back to the Pega rules application means again go to application menu, switch application and select Pega rules. Okay, so this option in detail, what is the tools we have for application setup, we will use in tomorrow's session. But in the real time, that application setup and all, it will be done by the business analyst. Because in Person Edition, without this configuration, we cannot start any further, we cannot move forward. So that is a basic thing we must do, we must configure. So then only we can start the new design. Then the other menu is launch menu. Okay, as I said that Pega application contains three portals. What are the three portals? We have admin, that is a developer portal, manager portal and user portal, right? So currently we are in admin portal. Admin or developer is common, guys. The name will be like admin, but it is also called as developer portal or business analyst portal. So the launch purpose is to launch another portal. Okay, so currently we are in admin. Apart from that, so in the default ID, they have given access to manager portal. Okay, apart from the admin portal, they have given access to manager portal. So directly without logging out from this portal, we can access manager portal. It will open in another window. So this manager portal looks like this. All the work management will happen. So all the case management and work management will happen. So how many team members are there? Who is working under which work, which task? Okay, all that information will be monitored and managed by the senior, like lead teams will be there, right? Team lead or like that. So they will monitor all these works. Okay, so whether the tasks are completed by all the developers or not, how many developers are working under which task. Okay, so all that work management will be done under this manager portal. Okay, in the coming sessions you'll get, then I'll discuss in detail. So the purpose of launch option is to launch a different portal from the current one. There is one more portal, user portal, but access is not given in the default ID. Okay, if they have given access, we can launch the user portal also. It will display. If they have given access, it will display the name here. If you click on that option, it will navigate to that portal. Okay. Then there is an option called create a case option. The purpose is to execute any module. So after the design is completed, if you want to test any case, okay, so suppose for some module you want to test that module, okay, whether it is everything is perfectly working or not, all the navigation is given correctly or not. If you want to test means we can test from this case option. Okay, there is an option called create a case. So from this it will show you all the cases. What are the cases means I'll tell you in tomorrow's session you'll get the topic is. So what is case, what is the purpose of the case and all. In tomorrow's session at the time of application setup, we will give the case names. So case is nothing but a module in Pega. Okay. So any module if you want to execute means we can execute from this create a case option. So these four options we'll be using. And apart from that, there is a search option. If you want to search for anything in the entire application, what are the thing you created, if you want to search for that rule or anything, we can search here. And there is something called private option. So private purpose is to, it's like a version control tool. For example, if it will not work in the personal edition, it will work only in enterprise server. Only in enterprise edition it will work. In the previous version, I will show you. In 6th version it will work. I will show it in the 6th version. In the 7th personal edition, it is not working. The purpose is like, for example, when you are working on any rule, it will be locked by that particular user. Okay, so other developers cannot work. Suppose you are one developer, you are working on some particular task or something. So when you are working, right, automatically that particular thing will be locked by this particular developer. Other developers cannot open or cannot work on that particular task. So when your task is done, so you'll click on check in again. Okay, then automatically it will be available for other developers to work. Okay, so private is nothing but there will be two options, check in and check out. So check in means it will be option will be available for other developers also to open. So if you click on checkout means only you can work on the task. Okay, so it will be locked by you. So once your task is done, again you have to click on check-in option so that it will give access to the other developers also to open the task. Okay. So that is a private, it's like a version control tool. It will be there for every application. It will, I'll show in the coming sessions this option I cannot show in the personal edition. This edition I cannot show you, I'll show in other edition I will show you. And there is something called PEGA 7 help system. Okay, here in regarding this PEGA 7 application or any topic in PEGA, if you want a detailed material or detailed reference means we can get it from the PEGA 7 help system will be there. So entire contents, everything topic wise or index wise, like a name wise, everything you'll get all the content from this PEGA 7. Okay. So each and on each and every topic you will get a detailed description. Actually, this is one of the best reference material. So you can go through once you install the setup, you'll get this content for you also. Everybody can get this one. So it is the best material. So any doubt on any topic if you have also, just open the resource and go to PEGA 7 help and it will open this content. Okay, HTML format will open and here you can search and manually you'll have all the contents. If it is if you don't know where this topic is there means, if you directly search here it will show the options. Okay, so like a entire description about each and every topic. It's the best material actually. Any source, whatever the materials I provide also, the maybe the main source will be from this PEGA 7 help only. Okay, so anywhere any company materials whatever I provide, any material related to PEGA, the main source will be from the PEGA 7 help only, because PEGA doesn't have any ebooks or any PDFs separately. They will not have any. Nobody will means it is not open source, right? So nobody can prepare any separate books or something like PEGA for PEGA. So any resource or any material, so you'll get directly from this application itself. Okay. So whenever you have time, you can refer these things, and how to refer these things also topic wise. If it is difficult to know which topic you have to learn. For example, right now we are discussing about the different panels, right? So there is a topic called Designer Studio here. So in the Designer Studio, what are the basic concepts we have? So Designer Studio overview is there. So it will give a total overview, and what are the different components we have under the Designer Studio. Header is there, work area panel is there, okay, toolbar panel is there, explorer area is there. So you'll get a detailed description about each and every option. Again, about the header options, again if you want a detailed description, so how to use the header and header option if you want to use, and if you want to know the detailed options about each and everything means, just again click on that option. So what is logo, what is PEGA Designer Studio, and application menu, launch portal, create a case menu. So about each and everything you will have a detailed description, guys. Okay. So what is the private option? And in the same thing you have the toolbar options. What are all the different toolbars? So it will give total overview. Again, if you want a detailed overview about each and everything means, for example, again what are the different things under the Designer Studio menu. So again you'll be having lot of things will be there. Again you have to navigate each and everything one by one, you have to navigate, and if you want to know just you have to click on that. So like that, everything, every minute, each and every information about each and every concept you'll be having in this PEGA 7 help option. Okay. So anytime, whenever you get a time, you can go through these things. Okay. So like all the information will be there within this application on each and every topic. Okay. So whenever you have time, you can refer these things. How to use the header options. What are the different things in the header? And again, you can just navigate. So navigate between these options, and you can refer these things. Okay. So this will be useful in the interview certification preparation. So if you want to prepare for the interviews and certifications, if you complete all these content and everything, it will be very useful for you. Okay. So because any question if you get in interviews or certifications, they will not go out of these topics. Okay. So all these any questions, everything will be from the PEGA only they will ask. Okay. So if you are thorough on all these concepts and topics, so it's very easy for you. Okay. And this is the resource PEGA 7 help. Then finally, in the header option, there is something called operator menu. See, operator is nothing but first of all, you are a developer. Developer is an operator here. Okay, so developer is nothing but operator in PEGA. Developer is nothing but operator, and every developer will have something called operator ID. Okay, every developer will have a operator ID. Operator ID is again nothing but user ID. Operator ID is nothing but again user ID. See, means every developer will have a separate ID or separate user ID or separate operator ID in order to log into the portal. Okay, so you want to log into this admin portal, admin or developer portal. So every developer will have a separate operator ID. Operator ID we can call. See here, what is the default operator ID means? Administrator@pega.com is the default operator ID. So in PEGA, so user ID is nothing but operator ID, and every developer will have a separate operator ID to log into the application. In the real time also, they will be giving some operator ID to you, and you have to log into that application. Okay, and the last menu is related to the information about the developer. Okay, what is the name of the developer, which application access he is having, what are the roles given to him. So all that information will be there in the operator menu. Suppose right now we are in the default ID. So in the default ID, if you want to know the information about the operator, so right now it is a default ID. If you want to know the information about that ID, so click on under the menu option, click on operator. In the real time means you can update your name and everything. So what are the operator ID given to you? So you can update your first name, you can upload the image, first name, last name, full name, email ID, everything you can update. Okay, so application access right now for this operator is having access to two applications. One is PEGA rules application and DM sample application. Okay. So this information will be there, and in the work tab also they will update which work group access is having, under which time zone. All this information will be there. In the coming sessions I'll show you. Actually, as part of application setup, default operator IDs are created, and later those from the parent IDs we can add own operator IDs for each and every developer. Okay, in the coming sessions you'll get a separate topic is there when we discuss about the routing concepts and all, and when we discuss about the other portals, I'll be showing how to create the operator IDs manually also. Okay, that is also part of the schedule. So we'll be discussing about the operator ID creation also in the coming sessions. So and anything, if you want to update the password and all, you can update in the security. Okay, right now the default password is installed, right? For the default ID we cannot update, but later when we create our own IDs, we can update for them. Okay. So just a basic under the operator menu, we'll have just a profile of the operator will be there. Okay, and there is something called access group. Access group is nothing but the level of access operator is having in the application. What level of access is given to the operator in the application, in this application. So right now in this application he is having access to PEGA rules, and see, access group contains three things case. One is application access, portal access, and roles assigned to the operator. Okay, that is roles assigned to the developer. Actually PEGA contains some default roles will be there. In the coming sessions once again you will get these topics, no need to worry. So basically access group is the level of access the developer is having in that application. What level of access developer is having in the application. So currently for the default operator ID, whatever the operator ID we log in right now, for the default operator ID, application access is having to PEGA rules and having access to two portals, developer portal and manager portal. I showed here. So here we have access to two portals. One is manager portal and one is admin portal. So developer portal and manager portal access is having right now. And the roles, you can see these are all the default roles. Maximum in the real time also you will be getting all these roles. Okay, when they automatically will get these roles, guys, when they generate the operator ID. And sometimes based on the seniority some roles may differ for each and every developer. Okay, so suppose in a team some 10 to 50 developers are there, so each developer will be getting a different roles. Okay, so some common roles will be there, and based on the seniority, so some roles will be additionally added for the senior developers. Okay, so like that the roles are also predefined memory, so those are not manually added. The roles are also predefined. Okay, so just based on the level of seniority. And one second, guys. So based on the seniority, guys, we will get the access and different roles will be given for the operators. Like that in the coming sessions we'll see how to add the operator IDs and all. Okay, so these are the different things we have in the header option. So mostly, so this operator menu you will be using only for logging off from the application, guys. No need to worry. These options are not to be configured by the business analyst only. As a developer, we will not use these options, operator option, access group option. No need to worry. Just if you want to update your profile means you can click on the operator. Otherwise, just we'll be using the operator menu just to log off from the application. That's it. Okay. So again, if you want to log off, just to use the, in order to close the application, you'll use the operator menu. Otherwise, no need to use. So this resources option also, whenever you want to get the any help from the on any topic, if you want to get, if you want to open the reference material, you can click on the resources option. And so we will be using the Designer Studio. Application menu maximum it will be used by the business analyst. So we will be using the launch menu to launch different portal. And for executing any module, we will be using the create menu, create a case menu. Okay. So these are the options we have in the header. So based on the design usability, so at the time of design, so sometimes we'll be using the header options in the application. So mostly, so the Designer Studio, mostly the options in the Designer Studio internally contain so many widgets and tools will be there. Okay, so in this, so all are very simple things only. So in the Designer Studio only, most of the options will be added here. Okay, so I'll show in the coming sessions we'll be using this Designer Studio, so whenever required. And the next panel is, apart from the header, Explorer panel. So in the Explorer panel, actually we have totally 7 explorers are there. So in Explorer panel overall, we have 7 explorers. First one is recent option. So this is Explorer panel. These are all the different explorers we have. So one is recent, cases, data, app explorer, records. Again, private is already there in the header, and once again it is included in the this one, Explorer also. The same option is once again added in the Explorer panel also. Both are same only, the purpose is same. Okay. And finally we have something called favorites. Okay. So this one also maximum we will not use. So in this, what are the things we mostly use in this Explorer is, so recent is means what are the things we opened recently in this application. It will, if want to quickly navigate them, we can access from the recent option. What are the things we opened recently in this application? It will automatically add in the recent explorer. So that when in order to quickly open anything in the application, we can access the last 10 to 15 things whatever we opened recently. It will show in the recent explorer. And cases explorer. Actually, what is a case and how to define a case and what is its purpose and all, you will get in the next sessions you will get. So right now I'll give a basic idea. So after the application setup is done, so at the time of application setup only, we will divide the application into different modules. Okay. So in tomorrow's session, when we generate a new application setup, so we are going to divide the entire application into different parts. So that is nothing but, so parts are nothing but cases in PEGA. Okay. Like in easy way, if you want to understand, case is nothing but a module first of all. Okay, suppose one banking application is there. So banking application contains different modules like loans, account opening like savings accounts, current accounts. Again, accounts is one module, loans is one module, like a credit card division is one module, mutual funds is one module, insurance is one module, like that. So different modules will be there. Okay, so each module is considered as a separate case in PEGA. Again, inside the case explorer, after application setup, all the case names will be added to the case explorer. And as a developer, what we have to do is, see, even PEGA applications also contain something called business flow. Business flow will be there, like process flows will be there. So flows means like nothing but a workflow diagrams. Okay. So those, after completing those workflow diagrams, we have to map it in the case finally. Okay. That is what is the, inside the case we are going to define the business flow of the application. What is the starting module? Okay. In that module, what is the starting thing you will get? Then when you click on that, what the next thing it should open? All the entire, after the design is completed finally, we can map it inside the case option. Okay, maybe if I discuss also right now, it will be, it's difficult to understand for you. So in the coming sessions, practically I'll show you this. Okay, so just remember, case is nothing but a module. So inside the case, we are going to just define the stages and process. How many stages are there for this module, and how many process we can add under each and every stage we can define inside the case. Actually, the main structure will be defined by the business analyst, and later just will map inside the case. What are the process we created? We'll just map inside the case. Okay, that is very simple. Just in the drop down, we have to just add the process name. Okay, in the coming sessions, we'll see how to use the case. And there is something called Data Explorer. So here, using Data Explorer, we can add tables in the application. Okay. So first thing is, in PEGA, database is internal to the application only. Okay. So what are the database we have, right? So that is internal to the application only. No need to again manually or physically open the database and add the tables and all. Okay. So inside the PEGA application only, we have access to the database. It is already ready to use. No need to manually open or manually start the database here. So it is ready to use here directly. So anytime we want to add the tables in the application, there is some widgets will be there. Data model widgets are there. We can just add the tables by giving the column names, property names. Okay. So we can map the records. We can import the records. We can export the records. So everything is automatically possible. So everything is added in this widget. So just we have to use the options. Okay. So for adding the tables, for mapping the data to the databases, okay, for loading the records, okay, everything we can do it from the Data Explorer. So in the next 3-4 sessions, we'll be using this option, Data Explorer. And next is App Explorer. It is one of the most important thing in this application. In this PEGA Designer Studio, 90% of the options we'll be using from the App Explorer, and 10% remaining options we'll be using all the other options. Okay, what are the things we have seen in the header, or what are the other explorers we have seen? Only 10% only we'll use. But from the App Explorer, the design, actually entire design will take place from the Application Explorer. Actually, in previous versions it is called as Application Explorer, and from 7.1 It is called as App Explorer. Okay. So in this only the actual design will take place. So there is some concept actually. In the next session, you will get the exact structure. From scratch, we'll create application setup, right? So based on what are the names we have given, what application name is given, what is the organization name, what are the module names. So based on that, all these things will be configured in this App Explorer. Okay. In tomorrow's session, I will show you in detail. So what are the things, how to use all these options one by one. In a single session, we cannot these we cannot cover all these things. Okay. In all these sessions, we are going to cover each and every concept from this App Explorer. Okay. So this is the place where actual design will take place. Okay. All the templates are inbuilt in this App Explorer. Just we have to use them according to the design requirement. So what are the requirement we get from the client? So from that, so what are the things we have to add? So all those things we will add from this App Explorer. And Records Explorer means the same things. What are the things we have in the App Explorer? It will show in alphabetical order. So we cannot create anything from the records. So what are the things we created, it will show in the records option. Okay. So practically if you want to create anything means we will create from the App Explorer, and it will show all those things. What are the things we created or what are the records we created, it will show in the Records Explorer. So maximum if you don't use also not a problem. Records and private, the same thing. What are the private option we have in the header, same thing we will have in the Explorer panel also. And finally favorite. Okay, any any rule if you are working very frequently and if you want to bookmark that one, we can add it to the favorite option. So not necessary, not mandatory. So mostly in this explorers we will be using cases, data, and App Explorer mostly will be using. Okay. So these three explorers mainly will be using in the application development. And in the header of, so this is the work area panel. Means if you open anything in the anything either from the header option or in the Explorer panel or anything, it will open in the work area panel. So where any new things if you want to create, if you want to update anything, if you want to modify, if you want to delete anything. So like whatever we open, it will open in the work area panel. Like in a tab option, it will open. So everything it will open in the tab option. So like that, if you want to close them, you can directly close these tabs. Okay. So when the work is done, you can close these tabs like this. Okay. So like this, we can open any number of tabs. Whatever we create also. Okay. So this is work area panel. If you want to expand means actually in the enterprise edition means if you click on this it will work, but some personal edition server there is some issue is there. Manually we have to drag and drop this option. Manually, if you want to expand, if you want to collapse means you have to just use this option. If you want to expand means manually just drag this option to the Explorer side, you have to draw. Again, if you want to view the Explorer panel means again collapse. So you can view the options at the same time. Work panel you can see, and Explorer panel also at the same time you can see. And finally in the Designer Studio, there is a toolbar panel. We can also call it as a footer panel. And here some toolbars are there. As a developer, mainly we'll be using tracer and clipboard. There are some other toolbars are there which will be used by the testing team, like performance tool, alerts tool, and inspection preferences. So as a developer, mostly will not use. So as a developer, there are some important debugging tools are there. One is tracer and one is clipboard. In the next sessions you'll get when we start the practical scenarios, we can use the tracer and clipboard options for debugging purpose. Some debugging tools are there. So these debugging tools we'll be using from this toolbar panel. So overall, basically these are the first main components, means where you can see in the top of the page. Okay, and internally so many options will be there, guys. Again, so these are the options in the top of the page, in the top of the Designer Studio. these are the main components we have. Again, internally, if you navigate each and everything, again you'll be having so many sub components and sub options will be there. If you go to App Explorer, you'll have actual so many options will be there. Okay, so like this. So these are all the different options. In tomorrow's session, after the application setup, I'll tell you what these are all called as the building blocks of the application. Okay, so these are all what are the building blocks of the application means. If you click on Records Explorer, you can view. So these are all the already the built-in templates. Actually, entire PEGA application is divided into these components. So in this except one or two, we'll be working on all these components. So application definition, actually already we have internal tool for application setup, right? So we'll not use application development. So data model we'll use. So data model purpose is to in order to process and store the data. How the data will be processed and stored, we can add from the data model. Decision means all conditions. Integration connectors means connecting to external services. So like already existing service is there means that existing service we can map into the connectors. So automatically mapping means packages will be created. Resources, some default things will be automatically generated based on the connections. Services, organization means all the operator ID, user IDs creation, okay, work group creation, work basket creation. So all the things will be, it is a task of a business analyst actually. Process, everything, so many things will be there like adding flows, reports, security, sysadmin. So admin part comes under sysadmin. So technical means business logic and user interface means all the form designs. So means they divided the entire application into different parts. Okay. So anything if you want to create an application, so directly from that part, you have to go to that particular category. You can see what are the things I pointed out right now. Same things you can see here. Again, under each type, you'll have so many rules will be there. These things we are going to use. Okay. So again, internally, suppose if you go to data model, again, these are all the different options you'll get. So all these things we'll be learning in the application now. Okay. So from tomorrow. So what are the things here we have? All these things we'll be learning. And under this, the maximum we'll be using 20 to 30% maximum we'll use this. Any real-time application to work also. So what are the options we have in this tool? 20 to 30% max we'll be using. Okay. So what are those options we'll be using for application development? So we'll be learning in this training process. So every session will be practical session only. Okay. So maximum all the sessions except one or two sessions, all the sessions are practical sessions only. Okay. So step by step, like option wise, like how we start the design in the real time. In the same flow, I'll start the design here also. I'll take a small module and I'll implement all these concepts in that particular project. Okay, I cannot start a total overall project. I cannot complete, right? So I'm going to take a small module. Okay, so a small case I'm going to take, and I'm going to implement all these concepts in that particular project. Okay. So like that, like every session will be like a real-time scenarios will be implemented so that you can understand the concept. If you know how to use the concept right now, anywhere if you go, the same concept will apply. Okay. So here in no need to buy heart anything guys. Just what is the purpose of that particular thing and how to use and where to use. If you know, you can work on any domain. Okay. No need to have any domain knowledge also here. What are the domain you work, the process will be same. So if you know the purpose of the rule and its usability, then you can work on any real-time project. And experience is not a matter. You can work on any 10-year experience projects also you can work. Because if you know the concept here in PEGA, it is very simple to use anywhere in the real time. Okay. So same tool will be there in the real time also. Same options will be there. So without any single change also. So automatically when you go to the real time also, you will not face any issues. For example, Java is there means, so you learn something in the real time, you have to implement totally it will be different. But here PEGA means same tool will be using in the real time also. Same options will be there, same concept. And this concept we can map only in the process. That like that if you know what is what in everything, you can easily work on any real time application case. Okay. So tomorrow I'm going to cover application setup and installation process. Application setup means entire configuration, because in the default ID we cannot start anything. Okay, so first we need to create application setup from application menu, and as part of application setup so many things will be configured. So in order to explain all those things, it will take one entire session will take. Okay, so after that, if time is there, I'll tell the installation setup process. Okay, so these two things we'll cover in tomorrow's session. So any questions, anyone today? Any questions, guys?
Hari, can you please tell private option once again?
Yes, once again, I didn't get you.
Yeah, like can you please tell me about private option again in the header?
Private is nothing but it's like a version control tool. Again, you will get in the coming sessions, guys. Okay, just like for example,
Okay.
suppose small example. Suppose you are working on some small task. Okay, you are a developer. You are
Okay.
working on some task. So what are the task you are working? That particular task will be locked by you. Okay, other developer cannot open that one, right? Okay, it will be
Okay.
in your control. Okay, so what are the tasks you are
Okay.
working? It will be in your control. It will be locked by you. So if I am another
Okay.
developer, I cannot open that one. Okay, after you again check in, there will be something called check in. After you check in, then I can open that one. So when you open that one, what happens? It will be in checkout mode. In checkout only you can work. When you click on checkout, only you can work on that. Okay, so in the coming sessions I'll show it practically in another version. It will work. I'll show it in that version.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Hari.
Also, can you compare with 6.3
Yeah, one session,
application
one
and also
entire
7?
session is there. 6.327. Yeah, in that some practicals also I'll cover. Some differences are there. So 1 to 1 end of session will be there for 6 and 7 version, differences and all. So in that session it will cover all the points.
Okay.
7.1 and 7.2 differences, 6.3 to 7 differences. So all these things also I'll cover. I think already I shared the content also yesterday. Who attended the session, I shared the content to you.